What makes a ruler eccentric, mad, or questionable? Is it their unusual habits, their strange decrees, or their unpredictable behavior? These are intriguing questions that have puzzled historians for centuries. As we delve into the annals of history, we uncover rulers whose eccentricities, madness, or questionable decisions have left indelible marks on their kingdoms and the world beyond. It's not just about the quirky habits or the outrageous outfits. It's about the peculiar policies, the radical shifts in religious beliefs, the extravagant building projects, and the strange ways these rulers chose to exercise their power. These eccentricities have shaped societies and influenced the course of history in ways both subtle and profound. From Rome to Russia, from Babylon to Bavaria, each of these rulers has left a legacy that continues to fascinate us. They've become symbols of the unpredictable nature of power and the strange forms it can take when wielded by the eccentric, the mad, and the questionable. Join us as we delve into the lives of 10 rulers from ancient times, notorious for their eccentricities, questionable decisions, and alleged madness. First on our list is King Nebuchadnezzar II of Babylon, who reportedly suffered from boanthropy. Now let's take a trip back to ancient Babylon, where Nebuchadnezzar reigned supreme. This king was no ordinary ruler. His reign was marked by grandeur and might, but it wasn't without its peculiarities. You see, Nebuchadnezzar II was believed to have been afflicted with boanthropy, a psychological disorder where the person is convinced they are a cow or an ox. Imagine the spectacle. The most powerful man in Babylon, roaming the royal gardens on all fours, grazing just like a common beast. It's a scene that's both tragic and oddly captivating. This beastly behavior didn't just make for an interesting historical anecdote, it also deeply impacted the kingdom. Nebuchadnezzar's strange affliction brought about a period of uncertainty and instability, a stark contrast to his otherwise strong and prosperous rule. The mighty king, once a powerful ruler, spent his days acting like an animal. Next, we meet Emperor Caligula of Rome, infamous for his tyranny and extravagance. Ascending to the throne in 37 AD, Caligula swiftly turned from a promising young ruler into a symbol of unchecked power. His reign, a mere 4 years, became a spectacle of unbridled extravagance. Lavish banquets, opulent constructions, and theatrical spectacles marked his time in power, draining the imperial coffers. But Caligula's extravagance was matched only by his tyranny. He was known for his capricious executions and cruel antics, playing with the lives of his subjects like a child with toys. His unpredictable behavior kept Rome in a state of constant dread, never knowing where his whims would lead next. Despite his short reign, Caligula's mark on Rome was indelible. His tyranny and extravagance became legendary, serving as a stark reminder of the dangers of absolute power. Caligula's reign was a period of unchecked extravagance and tyranny, leaving a lasting mark on Roman history. Emperor Nero of Rome, known for his vanity and cruelty, is our next eccentric ruler. Ascending to the throne at a tender age of 17, Nero's reign was a blend of self-indulgence, harsh suppression, and political maneuvering. His vanity was legendary. He fancied himself a great artist and musician, often forcing the Roman elite to endure long performances. But it was his cruelty that truly stood out. He was infamous for his harsh treatment of Christians, often blamed for the Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD. Nero's reign was also marked by the execution of many, including his own mother and wife. This brutal ruler would stop at nothing to quash any perceived threats to his power. Despite his artistic aspirations, Nero's legacy is not one of artistry or culture. Instead, he is remembered as a despot, a ruler whose vanity and cruelty left a lasting impact on the Roman Empire. Nero's reign was characterized by tales of vanity and cruelty that shocked the Roman Empire. Emperor Commodus of Rome believed himself to be Hercules reincarnated. Born in the purple, he ascended to the throne with a silver spoon, only to steer the Roman Empire into an era of decadence and decay. Unlike his father, Marcus Aurelius, who was a philosopher king, Commodus was a showman. He was obsessed with the idea of being seen as a divinity, a mortal god among men. Commodus wasn't content with just ruling the empire, he wanted to be the star of the show. He frequently participated in gladiatorial games, presenting himself as Hercules, the Roman demigod of strength and heroes. This wasn't just a ruler playing dress-up. Commodus genuinely believed he was the reincarnation of Hercules, and he wanted his subjects to believe it too. The emperor's divine delusion wasn't without consequence. His obsession with his self-proclaimed godhood distracted him from the affairs of state. As a result, Commodus's divine delusion led to a reign marked by chaos and instability. King Herod the Great of Judea was known for his paranoia and mental instability. The ruler of Judea from 37 before the Common Era to 4 before the Common Era, Herod's reign was a turbulent time. His paranoia often manifested in violent outbursts, leading to the execution of many, including members of his own family. This fear of betrayal and loss of power was a constant shadow over his rule, seeping into every decision he made. His paranoia wasn't baseless, though. Herod faced numerous conspiracies and rebellions, further fueling his fears. Herod's mental instability added another layer of unpredictability to his reign. His erratic behavior and mood swings kept his court on edge, never knowing what might trigger the king's wrath. Despite these issues, Herod was a capable leader. His architectural projects, including the renovation of the Second Temple in Jerusalem, left a lasting mark on Judea. However, his paranoia and mental instability often overshadowed these achievements. Herod's reign was marked by paranoia, leading to a climate of fear and uncertainty in Judea. King Ludwig II of Bavaria had an obsession with constructing fairy tale castles. Ludwig, who reigned from 1864 to 1886, was a patron of the arts with a particular fascination for grandeur and fantasy. His reign was marked by an unshakable desire to bring the fantastical world of his imagination to life through the construction of elaborate and whimsical castles. Famously known as the fairy tale king, Ludwig spent vast amounts of his personal fortune and even went into debt to fund these architectural marvels. Among them, Neuschwanstein Castle stands as a testament to his love for the extravagant. Inspired by the operas of Richard Wagner, it's a dream made real, a castle straight out of a storybook. Yet, Ludwig's obsession was viewed as eccentric and wasteful by many. His relentless ambition to build, coupled with his aloofness from political affairs, eventually led to his deposition. But despite this, Ludwig's eccentric obsession left Bavaria with some of the most beautiful castles in the world. Pharaoh Akhenaten of Egypt is known for his radical religious shift. A departure from the polytheistic norms of ancient Egypt, Akhenaten introduced the worship of one singular deity, the sun disk Aten, effectively turning a civilization steeped in polytheism towards monotheism. During the 18th dynasty, around the mid-14th century BC, Akhenaten, initially known as Amenhotep IV, ascended the throne. Yet, it wasn't long before he started to shake things up. He discarded the traditional gods of the Egyptian pantheon, focusing solely on the worship of Aten. This was a shocking and unprecedented move, not merely a change in personal preference, but a complete religious overhaul, affecting every echelon of Egyptian society. The temples of other gods were closed, and resources were diverted to build temples in honor of Aten. The capital was even moved to a new city, Akhetaten, meaning horizon of the Aten. Akhenaten's radical religious shift had a profound impact on Egyptian society and history. It was an era marked by change, controversy, and a king who dared to redefine divinity. Emperor Elagabalus of Rome was marked by religious fanaticism and unconventional behavior. Ascending the throne at a tender age of 14, Elagabalus was a young boy with a profound interest in religion. His devotion to the Eastern sun god Elagabalus was unparalleled, to the extent that he sought to elevate it above all other Roman deities, a move that sparked widespread controversy and religious tension within the empire. But it wasn't just his religious fervor that made Elagabalus a standout figure. His personal life and behavior were equally unconventional. He was known for his extravagant parties, lavish lifestyle, and for challenging traditional Roman norms. Stories of his eccentricities, from his rumored cross-dressing to his penchant for exotic animals, have been passed down through the annals of history, painting a vivid picture of a ruler who dared to defy societal expectations. Yet, beneath all the eccentricity was a ruler who, despite his controversial reign, did leave an indelible mark on Rome's religious landscape. Elagabalus's eccentricities and religious fanaticism left a lasting mark on the Roman Empire. King Charles VI of France was plagued by periods of insanity. A fitting moniker, the Mad King, was bestowed upon him. Charles's reign began promisingly in the late 14th century, but it was soon marred by bouts of madness. He would forget he was king, not recognize his family, and run wildly through his palace, causing fear and chaos. These episodes were unpredictable and alarming, disrupting the governance of France. His courtiers, ever watchful of the erratic king, were left to manage the affairs of the kingdom. This led to power struggles, corruption, and a general air of uncertainty. The king's condition also played a significant role in the Hundred Years' War. His inability to provide stable leadership allowed the English to gain ground, altering the course of history. The Mad King's reign is a stark reminder of how mental health can impact not only an individual, but an entire nation. Charles's periods of insanity led to a reign marked by instability and uncertainty. Finally, we visit Tsar Ivan IV of Russia, known as Ivan the Terrible, notorious for his extreme paranoia and violent outbursts. This enigmatic ruler held sway over Russia from 1547 to 1584. His reign is a chilling testament to the dangerous mix of power and paranoia. Ivan was a man constantly teetering on the edge of suspicion. He believed in conspiracies and plots against him, creating an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. His paranoia wasn't without consequence. It led to the creation of the Oprichniki, a hand-picked secret police who executed anyone Ivan perceived as a threat. His violent tendencies were equally horrifying. One notable incident involved his own son, whom he struck down in a fit of rage, a moment that would forever haunt him. Ivan was not just terrible in name, but also in his actions. His reign was a period of extreme paranoia and violence, leaving a lasting impact on Russian history. So, what can we learn from these eccentric, mad, or questionable rulers? From Nebuchadnezzar's beastly behavior to Caligula's tyranny, Nero's vanity, and Commodus's Herculean delusions, we see how power can warp the human mind. Herod's paranoia, Ludwig's castle obsession, Akhenaten's religious revolution, and Elagabalus's religious fanaticism showed us that power can fuel obsession and radical change. Charles's bouts of insanity and Ivan's extreme paranoia remind us that power can also drive men to madness. These rulers, each unique in their eccentricities, have left indelible imprints on their societies and our history. Their stories are a testament to the strange and unpredictable nature of power. They show us that power, when left unchecked, can lead to extraordinary and often disastrous outcomes. In the end, these eccentric rulers remind us that power can be a strange and unpredictable force, shaping not just the lives of those who wield it, but also the course of history itself.